Welcome back. It's time to snip it off. Snip it.
No, it's not time to snip it off.
Okay, it's time to unsnip it.
Thank you. Put it back on.
Guys, it's Garo the Vanishing line. Starting it off.
I missed episode 5.
Ya dingus.
Yeah, I don't know how. I actually watched the first 5 minutes of it, and then something happened, and then I forgot about it.
Look at this guy missing episode 5 of his lock.
Yeah, I mean, here's the thing. Episode, I'm still enjoying it well enough. So.
I'm joking because I did the same thing. Oh God. Okay, the thing with Garo is it does enough with the medium that is anime for me to passively enjoy it. I'm never actively engaged in this show. Mm-hmm. I'm never actively going, I can't wait till X character does Y thing. Mm-hmm. Never. It is, oh, that's neat. Or, oh, this is cool. Like, sure, I'll tag along. Monster of the Week, put it on while I'm eating something. Yep. Sure, why not? But it's never something I'm really invested in what's going on. Like, as you said, El Dorado, I don't fucking care what it is. It could be the actual city and they go into a DreamWorks movie. I don't fucking care. Like, I don't know what it is about this show, because by any other circumstance, I would hate it. But I'm just kind of okay with it right now.
It got the trifecta this week. It sort of barely got the fuckta for me.
Yeah.
I think part of the problem is there's no tension, there's no stakes, because Sword just effortlessly slaughters everything in front of him.
Yeah.
And that can hold you for a while. We're going to be going into episode 6 next week. Sword needs to get knocked back on his ass.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, there's got to be some tension. There's got to be something bigger than what we've been seeing. I'm really afraid that. Then again, the other Garo series were not 13 episodes. I think they were a whole 26. So it's very possible that these first batch of episodes are really introductory and more pulpy, while something bigger will prop up. But something has to.
Has that not been announced yet? They don't announce with episode projections?
I didn't check.
Okay.
I mean, it might have said like a 13 episode series. I have not checked.
Yeah, okay.
Probably should. So at least I think having some perspective, knowing how long the show is going to be, would help us have a better opinion episode to episode, because then we'd be able to better plan out, because sometimes you're just like, okay, this has gone nowhere for half the show, I'm done. Or, okay, we're on the first core, I'm willing to keep watching because there's enough there with promise.
I don't know. It kind of comes to both ways of if I'm watching and nothing happens, how much more do I want to put it until that happens?
Yeah, I don't care if it's 13 or 26 or 52 episodes. It's still eating exactly as much of my life to keep watching it every week.
That is also fair. That is a fair statement. For me, it's all a matter of if there's enough keeping me coming back week to week. But I will drop a show if I feel like, okay, it has not gone enough. Not gone enough in the amount of actual material it has to work with. I'm very peculiar with that, because again, I have more things to do with my time.
Yeah, I mean, as of episode 5, it got the ensemble that I give a shit about. Luke was nowhere to be seen, and fuck that guy. Who cares?
No, it's already whatever.
Yeah, but it had Sword, Gina, and Sophie all in the same episode, interacting with each other, forming an actual ensemble cast.
Yes. Yeah.
And that part was good. What was bad was, turns out there's a horror here and Sword kills it. That's the entire story.
Yeah, I definitely thought episode 5 was a bit of a higher point, because it's kind of where I would like it to go. As you said, everyone's there. I'm glad that Sophie came back. They already hinted at that in the episode 3, but I'm glad she's there. And that we're going to, hopefully, I'm assuming, it just seems like everything is leading toward this next episode will be the main through line going. But the fact that we've been given so little of it makes it kind of hard. I'm just kind of treading water with this right now. Yeah. Just any moment I could jump out or dive back in with it. So I don't know.
That being said, I did watch the first, I think, third of episode 5. There's something hilarious about the fact that there is no suit that can fit Sword.
Oh yeah,
that was good. Yeah.
That was a really cool touch that he's in, dressed as this fancy pants upper class boy. Yeah, his dress shirt is just tugging so hard to fit around his giant chest.
Yeah, I like that.
Yeah, I wish there was more stuff like that, stuff like him getting hit by the car in the episode that introduces Gina.
Yeah.
If there were more stuff like that, but as it is, I'm lucky if I get a moment like that per episode, and usually not even that.
It reminds me of if Suda did a show. That's kind of vibes I get from this.
Suda
51.
No More Heroes guy.
No More Heroes
Oh,
guy. Because I get a lot
yeah.
of like really stylish things that clearly have something to them, but sometimes the thread that is holding them together is very loose or poor.
That's a good comparison.
Because it has like the whole like the guy's thing is oogling over women. He always comes in and does shit really cool.
This is also vastly different from the other Garo series. Like really.
I kind of inferred that, but it's cool to know that is true. Because I don't know how much more you can really say about it with as much as we're given.
Yeah.
But I mean, it's testament to the anime form that hey, it doesn't have to be the best and still at least be somewhat enjoyable.
Yeah, but boy, it is riding that edge. But
Yes.
speaking of edging, not really. I just wanted to say that. Just because got the double fuck this week. Yeah, I was the only one killing it this week. Huh?
The only because I didn't kill it last week.
You're killing it every week.
Ha!
As a side note, let me say that these summaries, the summaries you're doing, you are killing it. That is hilarious. Thank you.
I mean, I didn't get around to it. It never came up. I was going to make you the same offer of like, hey, if you, the person who actually gives a shit, wants to write those for Kinos, like, go for it. But if you're happy with what's on the page, all right.
I love those. On Just Because, it is really just, I guess I had either some awakening or realization that that is just this genre. It's just nothing happens, and you're just kind of there. So I can't tell if it's a Stockholm thing where I'm like, okay, I know I'm stuck here and being tortured. I'm going to enjoy what I can out of this. But that said, I love this fucking music. That's why I like having this on in the background while I was working on something that was really nice and meditative. If there's something cool about it, it's like, yeah, high school was cool. Pokemon cards are cool. Like, I had a good moment watching it. So I don't know. Maybe that's coloring my perception a bit, but it doesn't need to really, there doesn't need to be more purpose here. I think I've realized that isn't what this is trying to do.
There's like a 30-second segment in episode 4 where it's just Sports Boy and his love interest sipping cocoa and exchanging significant glances.
Yeah.
That I tried. It turns out that you can't find this. You can't find a downloadable version anywhere of this show. It's too obscure. We're watching all these shows legally, by the way, streaming. So yeah, I wanted to snip out just that portion so that I could throw it up on Twitter and go actual footage from Just Because. It is fucking nothing happens. And then when something does happen, it's Sports Boy saying, "Will you go out with me? Will you go out with me, girl with brothers?" I fucking hate Sports Boy. I liked him okay last week because he was the only person who had a character.
Yeah, he's the only one that had any character at the beginning. But now it's just, okay, now I get it.
Now he's got a character, and I fucking hate his character.
Sports Boy is the only thing that kept me, the only thing that kept me sane this week. And yeah, he took a major step down. Like, I don't know what happened between the first 3 episodes and these two to where all of the humor that was there just died.
Yeah, it vanished.
Yeah, it's weird. Like, the first 3 episodes had some really good jokes to them. Like, episode 4 is when the stuff got heated up, and I'm like, oh, no. Like, I'm not looking forward to this, like, bitchiness between transfer student and Mio.
Especially when they won't tell you what the argument is about.
Yeah.
I was so happy that you didn't know either. I'm sitting
glad
here
you
like...
guys didn't either.
Yeah.
I'm kind of paying
missing
half attention.
something?
A big Just Because fan is going to be really mad at us for not getting
I'm sure
what
that
was
one
there.
guy in Fairy Tale Land will be real upset.
No, Fairy Tale has 2 fans.
Oh, okay, yeah, I forgot.
I was in Fairy Tale. I was in a couple episodes.
Yeah.
Just Because has one more week to kind of like get back to some of that magic that caught me in the first 3 episodes. Yeah. And I feel really sad about saying that because I forced you, I kind of forced the issue on this one. I was like, I could have, I understood where you were from and I didn't disagree, but I just found enough there and it.
No, because here's the thing. You killed Desiree, and that's a bit more
important.
You know
what?
We all...
Yeah, we did that together.
And our friendship.
And here's the thing. I understand liking Just Because, whereas the 2 things that did get the tri-kill this week...
No, if you like those, I just might not I don't think we speak the same language.
I think they speak Japanese.
Even then, I don't know how well it's going to do in Japan. It's really fucking bad.
But
anyways,
the one thing that I will say in favor of Just Because, the one thing that gave me any glimmer of hope for it was I actually did like in episode 5 the little plot about Sports Boy being kind of bummed because all his friends are going away to college, and then he had that little pickup game, and it's like, you know what? Though these guys are cool, they're nice guys.
Yeah.
I'm accepted. There's a place in the world for me. Like if more of the show were that, then I could see myself getting behind it.
Actually, and here's the thing. One of the things about the show that I do like is that they introduce these dilemmas for these people about what they're going to do after school and the excuses they keep making for not doing the things that they actually like to do. Like, again, Band Girl, she wanted to be she was really good in band. She was happy in band, but she's dropping it now that she's leaving school, and no one knows why. And her excuse is, well, just none of my friends are going to be there for me too. And I don't know, it's just a lot of hassle. And I'm like, bitch, you liked it. You were happy with it. And I get that. That's the part that's killing me. It's like, here's the through line.
Yeah.
Yeah, and I think that would work better if we had spent more time with these characters and were invested.
Yep.
Because, not to keep on bringing up the Genshiken comparison again, but Genshiken did that so incredibly well, where you follow Sasahara through all of this stuff, and you see him accept himself and accept that he is this nerdy guy and he can make nerdy friends. And then graduation's closer, and he realizes, oh shit, what have I been doing with my time? If I joined swim club, then I'd be this cool guy, and I'd have all these cool friends, and I have these lame friends instead. That I related to. And this show is just, I say, if we'd had more time with these characters, we're 5 episodes in and I don't give a shit.
Well, that's because, and it's odd, we haven't actually spent time, I feel like, with these
because
characters.
there's too many.
Yeah.
There are too many that are the focal character of a scene, is where we're getting 5 kind of characters, and we're getting just trickles of each of them.
And their connective tissue is still transfer student, and he is the worst.
Yeah.
Oh my God. I hate this character. I'm sorry. Who likes this character? I want to find out who likes this guy, because this guy keeps showing up in different shows. This kid is boring. He's rude and I understand that that a lot of us were like this as kids.
Yeah, but I didn't like me back then either.
I hated myself in school. I don't see that.
No, Snot is I don't like him. He's always so tired and is done with everything, and I'm like, he's not as bad as Emmy. Not even close to as bad as Emmy.
As bad as Emmy.
But I feel like he's growing up to be Emmy, and I hate it. And there are moments. There are just those moments where he's having a good time. And he's happy to see his friend, his sports boy, doing well. And he apologizes to Mio. But everything in between those are just I feel like he apologizes to Mio because he's like, yeah, I know, we both fucked up, whatever, let's move on. I don't want to deal with this anymore. I feel like it's an apology just for the sake that he can get past it, and not that he actually gives a crap.
Yeah, what would have helped this show a lot, I'm going to do a real good transition here, is if they had spent the first 3 or so episodes focusing on one character per episode, and with that, and just dropping little hints of other stuff, and then around episodes 4 and or 5 had started to, having built and earned that ensemble, had then started to have a more serialized, less episodic thing like Juni Taisen did. Just Juni Taisen still has its problems, still not a perfect show, but structurally, it has done such an amazing job of, here's Boar Girl, let's follow her around for a while, here's, Dog Guy, this is his episode, here's Chicken Girl, and then by 4, it's okay, this is still Monkey Girl's episode, but there is a lot more of the ensemble, and then continuing on to episode 5, this is Sheep's episode, but we're still following Monkey Girl and Rat Boy, we're still... Yeah, it has done a great job of doing the exposition, of introducing the characters, and only switching between points of view once you're already invested enough that you can fucking follow it.
And I think the good thing that it did was that You mentioned that by the time you get to episode 4 and 5, it still shows things going on around it, and that's because, and we were a little bit worried about this, that they were going to do the same thing of introduce character, kill character by the end of episode. No, doing that in the first 3 episodes was fantastic because those characters were fascinating. I love Chicken Girl.
Chicken Girl was awesome.
Yeah, Chicken Girl was great.
Yeah.
She could not have stuck around any longer than she did without being annoying or just breaking. Like, the way her arc is so good because
it was good.
And
she went out like Professor Screw Eyes. I appreciated it.
That's great. I like that. Episode 4 is when we break the habit. And I thought we lost Horse Dude. No, Horse Dude got away, and I'm like, oh, cool, okay. And Horse Dude, by the way, is so interesting to me because he's this gentle giant. You can tell already that he is not at least ostensibly, I don't think he's a bad guy.
No, he says, like, they blatantly go, like, okay, you excel in defense. That's your thing.
Yeah.
So he doesn't seem to be putting up any fight.
Yeah, no, for as little as we've seen of Horse Dude, it's really just been him fighting Ox, but I already love him.
Yeah, I like him a lot, too. He seems to be, aside from Monkey Girl, he's the most endearing person.
Has anyone watched the whole ending, like the ending song?
No.
Dude, watch the ending. It shows them all in their daily lives.
Oh.
Yeah, no,
that's cool.
No, it's really cool. And guess what he does? Guess what he does as his hobby? He makes model ships.
Oh, yes, I did see that. Yeah, I did see that.
That was the cutest. And I'm like, oh my gosh. They all, like, watching that ending gives a whole extra layer of, like, what these characters are all about. And so, oh my God, wait till you see Usagi's. But yeah, and now that they've gotten into episode 4 and 5, they can have the character-centric episodes without having to then kill them off, so they can spend time with other characters and the actual developments of the plot. So it's, and they don't have to, like, give you everything and then the character dies. Although I think in episode 5 that kind of worked against it.
I did like, too, in episode 4, it was kind of blink and you miss it, but when you're watching Monkey, all the peacemaking and stuff that she does, and her whole, she makes peace between these factions by, like, you know, what if they threw a war and nobody came? She talks the, like, grunt level soldiers into saying, no, you guys make peace, and then your leaders will have to accept it. Turns out the leaders didn't have to accept it. The leaders got together and made war on the grunts. And so her whole peacemaking thing fell through, and you see Boar in the background of one of those shots. Like,
I didn't see that. Okay.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. No.
So, yes, I do remember. Yeah, her walking by as the military was there. That's right. Yes, I do remember that.
Yeah, so that was really cool.
That was really cool, and I want to see more of that.
Yeah, I hope they find more ways of letting these deceased characters still be a factor in the plot.
I am praying, that we will see, and like, I hope they interact, too. I hope it isn't just, oh, hey, this character ends up in a shot in one of the flashbacks. I hope that there are actual interactions with the characters in them.
Yeah, that would be dope.
I get a lot of, if you guys haven't seen it, if anybody that has will understand this show is structured like Lost. And I kind of like that. Every single character we have the present time, and then we get every single character's like background story, how'd they get here, and then kind of like resolution of that, usually self-contained. And I really dig that. That said, oh God, these characters are still really, there's nothing, like I don't give a fuck about the rabbit, dude. I really don't.
See,
yeah, he's still really not much of a character.
And I'm just like, you're just there to be the chaotic evil that brings out everyone else's moral goodness, I suppose.
Man, I don't get you.
Because there's nothing to him. He's the most when you look at him visually, he's the most chaotic mess you've ever seen, and that's his point.
Yeah.
Is to be a chaotic mess visually
but that's the thing, is that I'm interested in figuring out what all of these characters are about, because the first episode does something brilliant by introducing a character and her backstory and her motives, her ideology, telling you will find out what these characters are about. Allow them to play out as each character works into the next and their worlds merge together. And that's why I'm like, okay, we'll get around to Rabbit Dude. But as he is right now, he's one of the most dangerous out of them all. Like, him and Ox are the two people who are the most dangerous out of all of these players, with maybe Rat. Rat's got something going on, and none of us.
Interesting to me.
Yeah. I am really curious what Rat's deal is, because he sits there and tells Monkey, "Nah, you're a fucking idiot," Peace will make people weak. Cooperation will make people weak. But at no point do I think, oh shit, he's going to stab her in the back.
Yeah.
And it's great, by the way, to have that kind of ideological conversation because none of it is trying to resolve it. No. And I'm so glad. The show is presenting these two philosophically opposed ideas, which in and of themselves have a lot of validity to their statements. There's a lot of interesting concepts going on about like, well, this is how humanity is. Yeah, but this is why you respond this way. But that just leads to more problems, etc. And it's not deep. It's not incredibly deep, but it's there, and they're handling it responsibly with two characters who are very well equipped to handle that. So ultimately, at the end of the day, I like those two. What?
Philosophy and Juni Taisen? Really?
I think I'm in between y'all here. Like, yeah, those ideas are there. Some of them are a little threadbare. Like, yeah, Rat's deal. That's why I want to know more about him, because I think it is interesting how his actions are opposed to his stated philosophy. That said, his stated philosophy is just discount Ayn Rand. It is not deep or interesting.
Well, but remember, this is a show that is ostensibly an action series, basically made to kind of like, you just use a lot of this as an excuse for violence. But at the very least, for me, I've seen these characters done way more poorly. Like, these characters, their ideas and their concepts, done very poorly in the past. To see it competently done here may just be super refreshing for me. Maybe that's why I'm like, hey, I love it. I dig it.
It might be because you've watched, because Ben and I are just now hopping into anime shit. So if you've had to watch some real bad shit, like
that might be it.
Like, that might be where it's coming from. Like, just compared to last standards, this might be this. I will agree that like there's a lot of stuff about this that is a degree above other shit. That's why I gave it the fuck this week, because I'm curious enough to see where it goes. Yep. That said, I'm not making any delusions that this is some really cool or interesting thing. It is just out of what it's doing. There is like a few little hooks that I'm curious enough about.
Yeah, the fact, damning with faint praise, the fact that it's structurally competent,
yeah, right,
does a lot to set it above some of the other shit we've had to watch for this show.
By the way, I'd like to bring something up. I do kind of wish we could have talked about this in the main segment. I want to talk about the openings for all these shows.
Oh yeah.
Oh yeah. Totally.
Yeah, because we didn't talk about the openings last week, and the openings are the first thing you see.
Yeah.
Unless they have cold openings, which most of the shows do, but still. So let's talk about the openings in order. Let's go back to Garo first.
Okay.
And then we'll talk about the openings maybe either before or after we talk about the show.
Sure.
Hey, look, it's all unstructured.
Yep, that's what it is. Garo opening.
Why is this a Power Jam opening and I'm bored?
There's
Our Jam Project.
Yeah.
Not Power Jam.
It's a Jam Project opening, and it's like, whatever. Cool.
Yeah.
It's anime. It's anime by the books.
Yeah, it's fine to watch once, and then I skipped it.
Glitter World. Glitter World. What?
Glitter World.
Glitter World.
Yeah, everyone loves Glitter World.
Some of the visuals for this one are cool.
Hey, guys, when we go to lunch after this, I need to go to the bank. I need to get some ones. I'm going to Glitter World tonight.
I've been to Glitter World. That's a gay bar in West Hollywood.
Oh, so then Hironobu Kageyama might have actually stopped by there. Maybe he's inspired. But yeah, it's like, it's whatever. I mean,
Yeah, I am frankly disinterested, like not into this opening.
Yeah.
And it's not that it's unlistenable. It like I could put it on the background like da, 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 because obviously it's Hironobu Kageyama and his troupe, and I dig them.
Yeah, like they can make anything competent.
But
like
this is the least interesting, most boring Jam Project opening I've ever heard, and that song I've ever heard, and that's sad.
It is.
Just because. How's that opening? Because I couldn't tell you a goddamn thing about it.
It has an opening? No, I'm barely joking. Okay,
does it have one?
I like. Yeah, it does. Actually, I cannot remember the song. I actually really like the visuals for that opening.
Don't remember.
Oh, okay. Do you remember everybody getting in and off the trains in that like fast forward animation? Okay, well, you know what? I don't remember anything else about that opening, so actually,
and I'm getting the signal that we need to reset our camera real quick. We will be right back. All right. Yeah, during the episodes proper, we hide that between cuts from camera to camera, but here we can't because it's unstructured, baby.
That's right.
Yep.
What's next on the list? Okay, so back to Juni Taisen's opening.
Yeah.
Oh,
Juni Taisen's opening is good. It's good stuff.
It's cool.
Yeah, I really like it. it's a really good song in general, but the visuals are really abstract. And I like a lot of what they're doing there. God, there's just some beautiful shots, like with the high heels, with Usagi throwing that machete. Like, I don't know. I'm a huge fan of the opening, from the song, the visuals, everything about it. From the first opening, it captured me entirely.
The designs by a grade schooler are shown in full force in the opening.
So before we move on from Juni Taisen, did the Council of Men's bathroom signs do anything for either of you?
No.
It intrigued me, if only because it gave me context of what was going on, and that's good, because I needed that. At some point, I was like, you cannot keep us on the edge of what the fuck this is about any longer. And so the fact that they came out with it, like, yep, it's all about world structure and power plays, and I'm like, okay, cool. Thank you.
Actually would have preferred the opposite. I know my initial qualm was I can only suspend my disbelief for so long, but once we really got into, okay, we're just seeing, again, parroting Lost. I don't need to know the answers to every question, because it is really just about these characters, and here's what they're doing that got them here. I'm so much more interested in that than cutting away to this guy talking with all these other holograms about whoever the fuck, about whatever the fuck, because who fucking cares?
Yeah, I am glad they gave us what they did, but it didn't, like, fill me with a hunger to know more.
Same.
It's like, okay, I'll buy that.
If I could say anything, they could have presented it better.
Yeah.
Because the presentation was very vanilla. Like I feel like there wasn't enough dread and enough, like, this is some dirty shit.
Yeah,
going
it was
on.
it was like a big lit up room, which would probably make sense for global elite dudes hanging out. They'd probably have some nice area.
Yeah, I feel like they could have taken a lot from Anno here.
Oh yeah, just do a real covered in shadow. You only see like their faces sometimes, and they're gone.
Yeah.
Neat.
Yeah.
Yeah, I actually, episode 5 had some world building that I did appreciate, like the fact that that sheep guy won the 9th, I think, which was on a space station.
Yeah,
like,
that was
that's
really cool.
Dude,
Yeah.
The moment I saw he was drifting away from there, he's gonna blow it up, and he blows up the space station. I'm like, yeah, sheep man, way to go. Like, I love this character. It's so weird though that by the end of it, I was like, ooh, that was a whole episode. Wow, okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, and you're definitely right that there was way too much of him sitting in a room talking to himself, especially considering that he was going off of old intel. Like, he was putting these pieces together
And then that's why it made it so boring to me, because I'm like, he doesn't know this shit, it's pointless.
I forgot about that. Oh, man. Yeah, no, I tuned out.
Yeah, that's when I was like, oh, he doesn't have this intel, and I'm going to hear him monologue his plan when I know it's wrong.
That
whatever.
probably worked way better in the novel.
Yes,
here,
I can see that working.
Yeah, not so much.
Just because of the pacing. Like, there's a certain amount of dramatic irony to, he's already fucked, and he doesn't even know it, because you're too slow, old man. The youth has got a leg up on you, but for as long as it was dragged out, it's like, nope, I already got those jollies. We done.
Yeah. I'm so curious what the hell is up with Tiger.
Yeah.
Tiger,
that was a neat hook. I wonder what that's going to go to.
As far as characters go, we've literally gotten nothing of her other than that one shot where she finds that liquor store and is like, "Oh, cool, awesome." By the way, there's a joke with her name and why she drinks. Odora, or big tiger, is a word for a drunkard or somebody who drinks a lot.
Gotcha.
So that's the joke. Next show.
Another small detail that I noticed. Sheep married into the sheep clan, yet he had sheep horns as a young man.
Did he?
Yep.
Wait, no. I mean, he married into it?
Yep. Yeah. He married the daughter of the clan, and that's how he got.
I don't remember that, but I will just believe you, because I tuned out once he started talking too much.
Yeah, like that was the part that I liked, was seeing him as a young man, as a weapons dealer, and all that flashback stuff. That stuff was all really interesting.
By the way, speaking of like that mid-season budgetary constraint, it was on full effect there. Like, he's like, yeah, I'm going to blow it up. And I'm like, the animation for that scene, I was like, what a cool scene. And then it's just really bare bones animation for that. I'm like,
yeah. This could be a far-flung sequel for The Omen, and that's where he ended up. Couldn't handle those horns.
But yeah, next show, speaking of openings, the one show with an opening that I have watched front to back every time, never skip any portion of it, the opening to Inuyashiki is dope.
It's
so good. The song is great. The
Hit me on the ground.
Yeah, there is...
Where are you going?
Yeah, I love just as the ball's going down, and it kicks in, and you see him flying and shit. Oh, it's great kinetic sense to it when it's got the breakdown of like da-da-da, da-da-da. You just see like the kind of like body horror shit with like a city inside his body. Like it's really cool.
His face going through re-entry.
Yeah. So cool.
And, you know, that opening has this really interesting shot of Hiro crying, and I'm like, what is going on there? Like, there are a lot of things happening in this opening that raise a lot of questions.
Yeah.
Because if you'd have just shown me the opening, I would have had a very different idea of what everything was about. Now that I've seen a couple of episodes, the opening is way more fascinating.
Yeah.
But it was always good.
It's a little ominous, though, like at the point that we're in now.
Dude, this show has me afraid.
Yeah.
So scared.
This could end with the planet actually blowing up, and I wouldn't be surprised. I'm just saying.
Yeah. Ironically, this episode does the opposite of Game of Thrones, where like the surprise there is, oh shit, they killed off their main character. Oh shit, they killed off their next main character. Yeah. In this episode, the surprise was, oh shit, there's a happy ending. Everyone lived.
I know, which is so good.
Yes, it was so uncomfortable to watch that first act.
Yeah. I was, and then when they're coming in for the hug at the end, I was just like, where's it coming? The Yakuza's gunshot. Somebody dies. Who's gonna happen? Okay, they're hugging. Cut. Yes.
Yeah.
Like, oh, that was so good.
By the way, I'm only mentioning this, like, we had the smallest conversation about Inuyashiki the other day. The CG in this show is surprisingly competent, even though it's really noticeable.
I love it. I love it when it's
great.
used.
Yeah. And oh my God, I love what this show does with physical movement in terms of violence. The shot when Inuyashiki comes into the apartment, first of all, that dude flipping and hitting the table.
Yeah.
And then Inuyashiki just walks through and knocks these dudes away.
Yeah. And the fact that Inuyashiki always looks awkward when he's fighting.
Oh,
yeah. He has no clue what he's doing.
Yeah, he does not look like a badass. He looks like an old man giving this really limp-wristed punch that then just destroys whatever it hits. It's awesome.
Yeah.
And meanwhile, the little bit we've seen of Hiro, he always looks cool when he's doing what he's doing. By the way, no Hiro this episode, which is fine. I'm actually
that's
totally
fine.
okay with like there being episodes without our what is supposed villain.
Yeah, this was a very self-contained episode, which I don't think they can get away with much more of. But this one, like, you know, villain of the week, but this one worked so well.
Yeah, I honestly don't expect any more episodic ones after this, but I really, really liked what this did because it showed us an aspect of Inuyashiki's character that we haven't seen.
Yeah.
Which was the, okay, he's going to go out there and cure cancer patients. He's going to do all this amazing shit. Oh my God, he's so benevolent and kind. Can he do no wrong? This one was the first time where I was like, is he going too far with this?
No, he walked into that temple, kicked that fucking table full of gold over, and was like, y'all motherfuckers.
Yeah.
Well, and here's the thing. Like, so actually we learned a couple of things, which is when he was first fighting the 7-foot-tall Yakuza man, and he's knocked unconscious by those repeated gunshots to the head.
Yes.
Like, we don't know if he can be killed by mundane weaponry, but he's not invincible.
Yeah.
He was overcome.
And that's also sort of interesting because it's all due to his inability to properly use his powers.
Yeah,
He's still saving people.
Oh, yeah.
But, like, I'm not going to say he needs to get better because however the story plays out, it's already way organic as it is.
Yeah.
So I'm okay with whether or not he actually tries to improve his fighting technique or just continues to be the way he is. But it's due to his inability to be a good fighter that these mistakes happen. And that's what's so interesting. It's all down to his character.
Yeah. And I really enjoyed seeing not only him going to the Yakuza place the first time and then, just I love when he just fucking breaks his jaw and just spins him like 10 times in the air. And then when the vibe that I really get from this show is the Iron Giant. where where that camera goes on and he just goes nuts.
Yeah, and I was wondering when that happens, like, is he in conscious control of this, or did like the robot take over?
That's what I was thinking. But then he clearly says, now you're going to live a life where you're being punished by this X, Y, and Z. So he did have some intent and control. So I was like, okay, I guess it's not the Iron Giant analog I thought it was. But it's curious. I wonder how much they're going to go into more of how much of the weapon he's in control of. Because it seems like, as you said, he's not mastering it. But he apparently had control over those lasers.
Well, he seems to understand how to use his system.
Yeah.
But again, he's not a fighter.
Yeah.
He has no martial arts technique. And he's also trying to be as non-lethal as possible. So he's not banging people. Like Kino is.
Yeah.
So it's
not banging people like the three of us wanted to bang this show.
Yeah.
He's not banging anybody like I'm gonna bang him.
By the way, can we something I didn't mention from episode 3? Was it? What episode introduces Kino? Is that 2? Yeah. Yeah. I still can't get over the fact that we watched a little child
Drown in the blood of his
father. Dude.
Yeah.
Like, here's the thing. Any other show, I would have felt like, well, this is just shock for the sake of shock.
Yeah.
But there was something like this show very intentionally is like, no, we're not pulling away.
Yeah.
You are going to see this happen because it's weird. This show wants to fully establish this villain as a person who is not, like, he is not he is dead to the world.
Yeah.
All that brings him life is death. And that is scary. Like, this is the scariest villain I have seen in a long time.
Because I know people that maybe might be like this.
Dude, there have been times. Okay, so there is this thing called the dark, is it dark thoughts or it's
Intrusive thoughts?
intrusive thoughts?
Yeah, exactly. I think everyone's had that.
Yeah, and it's like, say you're in the bathroom and for some reason, some god awful reason, you think, what if I licked the floor in between my fridge and my counter?
Yeah.
Yeah, no. People, every once in a while, you just get that thought of like the worst thing you could do in that instance. And
absolutely.
And it goes to your mind like, oh, God, no, okay. And honestly, your body does that for a reason. It's to give you a perspective like, that is the worst thing you could do right now. Don't do that.
Yeah.
And then it helps your mind work from there. This is a guy who's thinking, what is the worst thing that I could do right now?
You know what the worst thing is that we could do right now?
Yeah.
If we're done talking about Inuyashiki, is talk about King's Game. Cause it's,
this is
we got it.
but yeah, we do got to keep moving. Fine. We'll talk more about Inuyashiki and how much I love it later.
It's so good.
It is so good. If this season ends with just Inuyashiki for an hour, I'm fine.
Yeah.
It is. I think it's okay for us to say it might be the front runner. We might marry the show.
That's the one I'm picking so far.
Yeah, I mean, everything else that might be a contender in that spot is like provisional. If it does this, this, and this, like if it goes the direction I hope that it's going, then maybe this is the only one that is like, no, this is hitting every checkbox. This is doing everything I want it to.
This just nearly needs to maintain its course.
It just has to keep being itself, and I'm in.
Yeah, everything. As long as they don't fuck it up, don't fuck up.
But let's speak of a show that just continues to fuck up every episode. By the way, I love the fact that the only character's name you kept in this was Nami because you're a One Piece fan.
Yep,
and that
100%. That's the only reason. And
also, her name is Nami, and she died in waves. Nami means wave in Japanese, by the way.
Do we have to talk about it?
I literally have. Here's the thing. So, for water cooler talk, I thought I have more to say, but I
don't. That's why I'm asking. I have nothing else to add.
Nobuaki's a useless main character.
Yeah.
Oh my God, no! All of these characters are bad. They're all bad. All the characters are bad.
Every
and nothing's
character
interesting.
sucks.
Like this show had such an opportunity to be a fun, dark, disturbing romp of violence and debauchery, and then just decided to be. It tried to have emotional resonance.
Yeah,
and it fucked it up.
I just don't care about the main character, so anytime I'm flashing back, I'm like, I don't fucking care.
Yep. I'm just waiting for his best friend to die.
Yeah, right.
It's had scenes Like, and fewer of them as it goes on,
Yep.
which is a problem. But like the whole thing in the flashback where his love interest and his best friend have to fuck to save their lives, and he like shoves them into the
Yeah,
closet.
that was like that's a human compelling scene.
That is
sure.
dark and twisted.
Yeah.
And yeah, if there was more shit like that, I would be on board.
The worst part is, like, during that scene, I was like, what else do you do?
Yeah.
Like,
Yeah.
what do you do? Like, that was, like, when he was talking about, like, I've done dirty things, that was the first time I'm like, yeah, you did a dirty thing there, dude.
Yeah, but what else do you do? Like, yeah, what else could he have done? Like, and yeah, dilemmas like that are interesting. But for that, you need consistent characters, which it doesn't have.
Nope.
Yeah, I definitely got more depth from the people in the flashback, but it's just like, I don't know. I'm thinking I might check out the movie adaptation of this. I feel like that'd probably be better.
Maybe. Also, yeah, I cannot stand how it keeps telling you that a person died like this, and you barely
just- yeah, the
and you can
aftermath
barely
to-
see the aftermath too. Like,
On a
and
Blu-ray.
oh my god, and also, all of these characters just. I don't care. Like, it's kind of dark and disturbing. Like, these people are dying. They keep dying and dying and dying. And it's like, that is a pretty good effective tool of just, all these classmates are dying. Crying? Like, can I just point out, like, that was...
Nothing unnecessary. That was the biggest
Yeah.
bullshit thing.
What does that mean? Nothing unnecessary. And then there's crying.
Yeah.
I like there to be rules that can be fully established and understood.
Yeah. Meanwhile, Karaoke bonks Protag Kun on the head and kidnaps him, but that's necessary apparently. She didn't die from that.
Yeah, right?
Actually, like, and yeah, the idea of what's necessary and what's not, yeah, completely up in the air. And although it was kind of poetic. I will, like, not very well done, but I do like the fact that she dies because she fucked up, and he's not responsible at all. But I don't know. I did like how that played out in a certain dark, like, ironic manner. But that's the best I'm going to give it. That it was not well done, and I have to watch another episode of the show.
Yep, this show's got one episode to change our minds, or else
If they go to that village, that's like the only thing I'm interested in. That is the only thing I care about.
Not.
and that was the thing that of all the things I hate about this, that was the thing I hated the most, is just pulling this mysterious information out of the character's ass.
Yeah.
Where did he find this?
Yeah.
The internet. Nobody else has internet. Or teachers, or any semblance of a life,
yeah.
by the way.
Yeah.
The police aren't trying to figure out, holy shit, this entire class is dying in a way that is exactly the same as a thing that happened before, but nobody's investigating this other than the students themselves.
This writing is absolutely abysmal.
Yeah,
There's
no,
no sense of world. There's no sense of anything tying this together. And all the moments that try to be dark are dark for the sense of this person died. There's nothing cool about it.
Not to mention, this feels like it's trying to be a series that's like, this has happened before, and let me tell you what happened last time. But it's like, no, don't do that. Focus on one or the other. I'd rather be watching the first time this happened. But no, it's trying to do both, and it's failing at both.
I mean, like so much else in this show, I think that's a cool concept that if it was executed well, I would be into, but it's not.
I actually don't think it's a good concept, and I think it's doing it badly.
I'm cool with it because I just want them out of the school.
Yeah.
I'm so tired of seeing the same goddamn setting. But that's that.
Well, you know what has lots of different settings? Kino's Journey.
Yes, it does. I'm sad I didn't see the fucking 5th episode.
Yeah, ditto.
Like, it's now.
I was really looking forward to talking about that with you.
Now I'm like really sad because.
Well,
damn it.
Yeah, it's actually kind of hard to. Let's talk about episode 4.
Yeah, I want to talk about 4 because at least I think we can go at length about that.
Yeah, I like Little Girl.
Yeah,
I
I
like the
thought she
little
was
girl a
cool.
lot.
I dug that, and as you mentioned, I think it is a little clumsy how they're trying to convey that there was like this AI doing this shit. Like they really just threw that to the wall. All that said, and being Kino and I think Shiro is his name, being interchangeable, absolutely. Like I don't think they're trying to make any impression that it couldn't be the other way around. Like that's kind of what. This will mostly just be me trying to win you over for this time because I'm not invested in the character. I'm invested in where they're going.
Then I really wish that character would stop messing with stuff and then not messing with stuff in other places where you want them to mess with stuff. Because as of late, the 2 times at least that she has messed with, I guess it's a she, that Kino has messed with stuff, she's made things worse.
Yeah, but worse in what sense?
Well, the first time she had an entire village kill everybody, and then the second time she gets rid of the machines, and both of those actually lead to things being worse.
But those people are also cool with it. Like, that's the thing, is the people went along with this. Everyone has their own agency and can say the other thing.
Yeah.
Like, they're only playing by the rules of the country they're in. It is the country that is doing this.
Yeah, but why is she affecting their countries? Why is it that sometimes she takes steps not to mess with stuff?
I don't know.
Yeah.
I can't tell you that. That's why I want to watch and figure out if there's more to it. I don't know.
Yeah, I mean, I guess so, but it's just making it difficult for me to... I'm not finding it interesting. I'm finding it frustrating.
Okay. And I think that's totally valid because this is an unconventional narrative, but I think that's why I enjoy this so much.
And I am almost certain that that reading it, all of this would be way
I'm
more
certain reading it, you
fascinating.
could probably get a lot more because you'll get Kino's in-depth thoughts through a lot of things.
And I only say that because I know Kino's Journey is a beloved series.
People, there's a whole bunch of people that fucking love it. And I only watched a bit. I want to know more.
And the original show apparently is very well, people who are watching this one, who watched the old one, hate this one. And that's interesting.
I've only heard people hate a few parts of it. I've heard, specifically they did say the Coliseum episode that you don't like. A lot of people said they hated that one because I think that was 2 episodes in the original one.
And it handles the ending entirely differently. Well,
Okay.
not entirely, but in the original show, she gives them the opportunities anybody who does not want to participate, leave.
Oh, okay.
You have
Gotcha.
I think it was a half hour, grab your things and go.
Okay, but I understand that.
And secondarily, there was a lot of time spent on the fact that there was a slave class. They said none of the slave class is participating in this. This is all royals because you're the ones who have been watching.
Oh, okay, gotcha. Yeah, I got an idea that you can run away if you don't want to as an inferred provision. Like the person makes a new rule, I can always just say fuck it and go. I don't think anybody that's kind of why I see the countries as their own selves, and Kino is interacting with the country in questionable ways, but seeing how the country en masse responds.
Yeah.
I find that interesting because you are dealing with people that live this totally alien lifestyle. How would they react? I don't know. Let's just figure it out. It's kind of just a morbid curiosity, I guess, to me.
Yeah, I tend to think that anything that has the entire population of a country responding one way to something reeks of oversimplification.
Yeah, that too.
Which I think is, again, this might be to the adaptation's fault because you have 20 minutes and you only have so much time to get to here's how it works, here's how it is, and how it's going to end. You have a lot of phases you have to hit.
And that was one of the issues with the fact that they decided to do one country per episode.
Yeah.
Bad idea.
Yeah.
I think that was a very bad idea.
I they could have probably done more.
I think we're missing a lot of things. I would have been happy with a lot of these countries being more than one episode. Maybe then I'd care, but as it is, I don't.
So I'm sad that I can't get your thoughts on it until until next week maybe.
We can talk a bit about next week.
Episode 5.
Yeah. Cool concepts.
Yeah.
Didn't care. By the time I got that reveal in the last part of the episode, I was like, why?
Yeah, too many twists for the sake of twists.
And which, I'm okay with with the final twist being the guy, by the way, I know. And I'm like, that's a cool twist. But I didn't care because I didn't care about any of the other things, and I thought it was hackneyed.
Yeah, well, and he says, yeah, it turns out I'm happy. That seemed really convenient, considering that we just found out that the love of his life, princess girl, is perfectly happy living with a person that, as far as she knows, is miserable.
Yeah.
So she's basically just a horrible person for no reason.
She is or he is?
She is. Because she's living with this mentally disturbed guy and has the power at any moment to tell him, by the way, I'm right here. Why does she not tell him?
I'm pretty sure it's heavily inferred that he's kind of mentally gone and wouldn't believe her.
That's not what she said, though. She didn't say, hey, I tried to tell him and he wouldn't believe me. She said, yeah, no, I've been lying to him the whole time, because that's the theme of this episode, is lying. This episode brought to you by the letter A and the concept of lying.
Yeah. When you see the episode, I'm curious to see what your opinion is on it, because this actually seems like an episode I'm very interested in getting your opinion on.
Okay.
By the way, Kino at the very least does go out of her way to tell that kid, by the way, go spend time with that bike.
Yeah.
Yeah. That was, but that's still like.
Yeah. That is a concept that should have, if they were going to drop that at all, hey, here's a bike who's living in hell because apparently bikes can't move of their own volition. They need riders in this universe. That's what I got from it anyway. Yeah, this bike is a museum piece. Nobody's ridden it in decades and decades. It's like, yeah, I have no mouth and yet I must scream. Guys, this is torture for me.
That sounds cool.
Please. Yeah, it does sound cool. I would love a whole episode about that. That is not what we got, and it is infuriating.
Okay. Gotcha.
So, yeah, looks like we gotta switch the cameras. We'll be right back. And we're back, still in hell. No, not really.
I was sort of curious. I'm glad I know enough Japanese that I do. When he says hell, he literally says hell in Japanese.
Okay.
Yeah, like, it's, yeah.
Yeah.
Kino's Journey, a show that is fascinating.
Yeah, it is always that.
Yeah, it is. I could talk about this show, even if I
That's
don't
what I
enjoy
like.
it.
That's the thing. I am so engrossed in a show that makes me talk.
I wish it was making me talk about the things that were happening within it and not the things that it's doing that I don't like.
Yeah, but it is the only reason why it's got 2 consecutive fucks from me is because whether I found the episode entertaining or not, whether I found it frustrating or not, whether I found it good or not, it's still great to talk about.
But that's I don't know. That's kind of what I enjoy, coming from a degree of literary discourse where we just talk about what does this paragraph fucking mean for a 12-page paper.
Well,
I enjoy that kind of stuff.
And that it makes sort of sense that you're probably getting more out of this.
Yes, because I pick apart every little fucking thing with this, and I just really enjoy it. And I would love to do fucking video essay shit on this.
Let's wait. We didn't talk about King Game's opening. King's Game opening is actually kind of catchy, but it gets really irritating.
I don't like it.
Yeah.
Yeah. I couldn't tell you a thing about it. I'm sure I watched it once and then I've been skipping it.
Yeah.
Kino's Journey's opening. I love the visuals.
Visually, it's very good.
Really cool.
The song is forgettable.
Right. Yeah.
Yeah. No, the opening. Oh, it's got a very beautiful opening.
Yeah.
By the way, something I've noticed in this season: lot of CG.
Yeah, there's a lot of CG this season.
Yeah. Especially for vehicles and stuff. By the way, I didn't know that fucking just because. Side thing. I didn't know there was such thing as reverse trains. Remember they're riding trains that are basically that have the tracks on the top. So they're suspended.
Fuck. It's not a trolley. What is it called? Something. I don't know what it's called. But yeah.
Yeah. Those exist.
Yeah.
When I didn't know that, and when I was watching, I'm like,
yeah.
whoa, that's cool. That's an actual thing. I had to look it up. That's neat. But they were CG too, and I'm like, a lot of CG this season.
Those are common in airports. Air tram, I think they're called.
Really?
Yeah, whatever.
Yeah.
Huh. Anyway, so the opening for Kino's Journey, pretty good. A lot of CG in there too, with the bikes and stuff.
Yeah, with the bike. Whenever Kino's on the bike, you get that.
Yeah.
Yeah, it is fitting with what the show is. It very much captures the tone of the show. Mm-hmm. The problem is that the tone of the show is not what's interesting me, so I've been skipping it.
Oh yeah, that's the other thing about Kino's Journey. It just looks like every other anime. I'm sorry. It really does.
I think it has a bit more depth to it and I think it has a bit more atmosphere to every other show than other stuff. Characters, sure. I think characters, but I'm absolutely entranced by the backgrounds and environments, and just seeing the floating city looked so fucking cool to me. I'm like, I want a model of the floating city. I don't know. I just really like how it looks.
You know, it has a good opening and also a really good ending. Is Recovery of an MMO Junkie.
I'm glad you like its opening too.
Dude,
because that's
its opening is
it's so fun.
Yeah.
That opening bit always just gets me hyped up. I'm like, yay!
Yeah, I like the visuals. I like him playing the little character creation. It's fun.
The visuals for the opening are so interesting because there's so much foreshadowing going on about where the story is going to go. I'm so curious what's going to happen. And the ending is great because it's really simple.
Yep.
And it's the song, I couldn't tell you what the song was. I kind of forget what the song was, but I love the visuals to the ending.
I just love seeing her doing whatever around the apartment. It fills in the what else does she fucking do?
Yeah.
I like that.
Oh, and you know what else I noticed too? In episode 5, the ending changes and it's her all dolled up at the end.
Yeah, I was going to mention that.
I skipped that one.
Yeah.
Shit, I have to see that. Yeah, that's cool.
Yeah, because here's the thing. I had actually not watched the ending all the way through until episode 5. But then I saw that and I'm like, So I went back and like, they changed it. That's so cool.
Yeah,
That's cool.
really cool.
Yeah, that's nice. Let me just say, overall, this show is for me, personally resonant because I've had experiences like this, and I love it dearly. It is really cool seeing like shows talking about this coming out because people that have felt it are now in the industry, and I like that.
I'm actually kind of a little bit hesitant on that. Miyazaki said one of the worst parts about anime nowadays is that they're being made by fans of anime.
I agree, like 99% of the way.
But this is a good opportunity where somebody who is a good storyteller is also a fan of something else. And so, like, I don't know. It's good to see that this is being very faithful to a lot of people's interpretations and lives during, like, enjoying MMORPGs, etc.
This is I want to talk a bit about the title because I noticed something here when you mentioned that. I think this kind of hits the narrative point on the head for me. That whenever the like mid card comes in, whatever the eye catch, it says recommendation of the wonderful virtual life, which is not what the title is of the show in Japanese or English. It is completely different. It says has the title and then it says recommendation of the wonderful virtual life. The show in English is called Recovery of an MMO Junkie. That is not what this is. I think that title's disingenuous.
Agreed.
Interesting.
For, I think the mid card is what this actually is, where this is actually someone who had a really good experience on a game, could write competently a romance, and put that together and said, I really liked this. I'm sure you guys have had this experience, and if not, I don't know, try it out. Maybe you'll have fun. Like that's the vibe I'm getting from this series director.
Well, we'll have to see.
Yeah, that's what I'm seeing so far. I don't see the recovery part playing.
Also, something that I wish more eye catches would do. The eye catches are other scenes are implicit of stuff that's happened in the episode, and they look really good.
I like that too.
But speaking of the story, let's
let's. So I was because when you said last week, like, oh, convenience store boy is obviously Kanbei. I'm like, well, I'll watch it with that in mind. I'll see if I agree. But in the back of my mind, I'm like, oh boy, that is like having one person who she knows in game bump into her in real life. That's already a big coincidence. Having that happen twice in such close proximity, that really stretches believability. And then when it happened, it is immediately paid off by that awesome scene where Kanbei is trolling the shit out of both of them. And I realized, you know what? Yeah. If it gives me scenes like that, I don't care how unrealistic it is. I will go all the way with it because that was adorable and I loved it.
And real, as in I could see that happening.
Also, Kanbei knows.
Yeah.
Kanbei knows about both of them.
Yep.
Like, and that reveal is so good because, like, when he says, by the way, whatever you do, don't ask her about life advice. I was like, why? Why would he? And then it's like, oh, because he knows that it's actually.
Yeah. I really appreciate that. I love that whole scene was awesome. I really actually enjoyed the loot box talk because having had moments where I go to the store and buy things and go, I could get like a video game instead of like 10 shirts.
Yes.
I have so many shirts. I'd rather buy a game.
Yeah, the fact that when she was clothes shopping, she was mentally converting every price to how many loot boxes she could get.
Because I've done that.
Yeah, that was
shitty
great.
as that is, it's relatable.
Oh yeah, I think we all have.
Like, I really want this one thing. I should get this, but come on. I really liked that. And again, it's really those tiny little things in the storytelling and the writing that really make me think this person knows what they're talking about.
Yep.
So I'm curious, because I only watched these once. So I think, did I miss something? Did she get the day wrong?
No, his thing got pushed back. It was on the calendar. He said, I leave, push back for Thursday or whatever. It was a really quick thing.
But did he not tell her?
Now we won't know this until the next episode.
Yeah, we're not going to know this.
But my theory is that Mr. Hardsell, the love interest boy's friend, he intentionally set it up for a date that he knew he couldn't make because he's not trying to fuck this girl. He's trying to set up his friend.
Yeah, it was obvious from the very beginning that he has he likes her. I think he actually feels for both of them. I think he is actually a good guy who's trying to do right by them, but in his own
very dickish way.
And that's what I love about that guy. He is a good guy who's doing dickish things because he's like, don't worry, I got you.
See, I liked it just fine when I just thought he was a dick because I've known people like that too. And throwing that agent of chaos into the middle of this, that would have been fine. I'm fine with the way it's going too, where he's just a stand-up guy, just in his own trolly asshole way, trying to prod his friend into, nah, come on, man up. But I know you like this chick, man up.
And the way that he interacts with Sakurai, the fact that he calls him Sakurai-chan for the first of all is a very Japanese thing, and all in of itself. But it shows a very deep affection for him.
Oh,
and
he cares about both of them.
And that's why it's so... God, it's such a good romance. They're so good friends. And not in that usual, like, okay, this guy's getting irritating way with a lot of the straight man. Like, the straight man kind of jokey dude is a very Japanese style of comedy that is being done aces here. So,
I dig it. This is the show that whenever I'm like, oh, I gotta watch that. Oh, you know what? Yeah, I'll watch. I'm excited.
Yeah.
This is the one that I save for watching when I'm home, so I can eat or do something else I really like.
Oh yeah, I don't watch that here.
Yeah, it's one
although I have to watch that here because I don't have a Crunchyroll account, but.
But yeah,
I'm having to use his. I'm gonna get my own because I want my own, but in the meantime, I've been using his.
It's fun. I'm looking forward to next week.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's. I know I keep on bringing up Genshiken just because it is the closest analog that I can point to. But yeah,
you don't watch a lot of anime, so you're going back to one that reminds you the most of, and that makes sense.
Yeah, but it is like I don't quite have that specific like MMOs specifically that I can relate to this, but just all the characters are growing up nerdy.
People you know.
Actually, you want to know something weird? I was not a whole lot in MMOs. I played a lot of Ragnarok Online. Yeah, you did. I also played a little bit of MapleStory, but that was less of an MMORPG.
MapleStory was not it. Everyone was there. They were there 12.
Yeah. Funny enough, and here's me getting more into my personal life. It was actually, this reminds me a lot of furry.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
I see it.
Because for me, when I was a kid, and one of the reasons I even became a furry in the first place was that it was a community that was very open and accepting and like, hey, come enjoy our art, come to our conventions, hang out, talk about things that you like. And the good part about it was that it was this umbrella that anybody with a million different interests could suddenly be under. That's why, in short diatribe, that's why I like the furry fandom, is that it gives somebody this thing that ties a bunch of people with otherwise completely different interests together. And I think MMORPGs do that too.
That's the coolest part of an MMO story, and like that's why I like this, and like what I like .hack sign for doing. Like it's just all these people who are like, a guy's a student, a guy's a fucking lawyer, another guy's a doctor. Like everyone, just all these people were for the same purpose from radically different backgrounds. It's a fun way to get cool characters.
That being said, you mentioned side characters that were not very good. What you meant was two characters.
Lilac and...
Oh, wait, actually, no, three.
Lilac
is fine.
Lilac's
okay.
Well,
that's the thing. They're all fine.
Yeah, they're all fine.
Serviceable, but they're surface level engagement.
Yeah. We're going to get more Lilac, though. I know we are, because we've already gotten flashes of Lilacs, like in real life. Which, by the way, very surprised they did that. I was very surprised that they were just like, by the way... Here's what they look like. I'm like, whoa.
Yeah, and I am so glad that they waited until episodes like 4 and 5 to start dropping that on you, because that is something that could easily get really confusing when you have so many characters, all of them with their in-game avatars and what they look like in real life, and their in-game names versus their
Now, here's a question. We know that 2 of them are playing male characters. They're married.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's I can't remember what their names are. There's Hime. Himelda.
Oh yeah, that's right.
And then the fat dude.
Yeah. That was one thing. Like, it's totally realistic to this world. Is that they're married. One of them might log in as the other character. They shouldn't have done that, because it's already, like I say, they've done a good job of handling it largely, but it can already be tough keeping track of all these characters and all their in-game alter egos. As soon as you start fucking with that, no, that's a can of worms that you cannot open.
That didn't bother me too much, because they've only done it once. It was its own isolated incident where they say flat out, "That's you. Stop playing on your like." And I was like, that was interesting to me, because I'm like, ooh, okay. That was just in the background, and it was very plainly stated. I wasn't confused at all. So, like,
neither was I, but once you open that can of worms, is everybody always being played by the same person every time? Like, no.
I think you're worried a little too much about it, but I can see your concern. I don't think that's a well they're going to revisit.
I hope not.
I think that's just for a one-time, hey, that's more of the realism thing to me.
Yeah.
Like, this also happens, and here's that.
Yeah, and because as you've seen, since then, they haven't fucked around with that. In fact,
Yeah, I don't
they
think they're going
haven't
to.
they haven't had them in just seeing, like, they've had both of them on screen almost every time, meaning, oh, that's most likely them. There's no reason for them to both be playing each other's characters at the same time.
Yeah, and we only know of that, those two people being the people that share households. I assume
Yeah.
everyone else is living on their own. So
Yeah.
it shouldn't, I don't think it'll crop up again.
So I'm very curious. We'll see.
Yeah. It's fun. I like the show.
Yep. We talked a lot about MMO Junkie, so
Yeah, that's
Yeah.
hey,
Yeah.
that's fine. That's part of what this is for, is to spend time talking about what we actually want to talk about.
Yes.
yeah.
For example, ripping the living shit out of Infini-T Force because goddamn.
I guess we should at least talk about it on its voyage.
Yep.
Oh man.
Do you have any last
Let's
words?
yeah,
to
let's
say?
kick
No.
this motherfucker out the door.
My first words are I'm sorry.
3 episodes of this.
Man, why did this show have to start so early?
Because
no.
they wanted to get that horse shit out of the way so they could move on to something actually good, I guess. I don't fucking know.
There's this other Tatsunoko show which got the villains of Yatterman fucking around with like blackjack.
Oh,
and
don't
shit.
tell me about better shows
Yeah.
right now, okay?
Like, so it's not Tatsunoko fucking up shit, but man, it's like, oh god, yeah, kind of.
So
entirely.
Emmy continues to be
The
a
worst.
dude. Oh my god, it got worse. It got worse. Like, I thought the moment that she lost her friend, she was gonna shape up. Nope. Nope. No, oh my god, in episode 6, I about fucking threw something when she's all like, I don't care. Like, they came to save you. And I'm like, bitch!
Now, let's talk about episode 4 for a second, and the fact
Sure.
that she goes to this Halloween party and the Tatsunoko boys say, well, no, we can't let you go alone. That's too dangerous. You've got this godly power that you refuse to use ever. So we're going to come with you, but we're also going to let you walk down this dark alley where nobody can hear you scream while we hang back at the party and, I don't know, bob for apples, I guess?
Wait, actually, no, she ducked out. Like, they turned around for a second and then she left.
Oh, okay, so it's just her still being the worst.
Oh, yeah, no, it's
Okay.
still her being
Good.
the worst, even though she has no reason to do what she keeps doing, which is putting herself in danger.
Yep. And by
She just-
extension,
yeah.
all worlds everywhere because she has this godly power that she will not use.
And the worst part is she's already used the power once. Like, let's point that out, is that she can use the power. There is no consequence to her using the power. If it were literally just, she can only make one wish happen, and then she has to give it up. I understand being a little bit hesitant, like, I need to make sure that whatever I do is the right thing. That would be good. No, she has a power that she can use.
it's really
And here's the thing, maybe if that were the only bad part about the show, if the action were really good and everything
Yeah.
else, maybe I'd be interested. And it's not even that it's poorly animated. It's not. The animation here is fully competent. The storyboarding is just terrible. The effects leading up to the fights are terrible. The actual, oh my god.
So back to episode 4. This is, and actually this is a lot of the episodes, but this is the one where I noticed it anyway. Most of these fights are happening in some other wasteland dimension.
yeah.
It's not really clear whether it's the same dimension every time or a different one every time or what's going on. But in episode 4, they zap, they kidnap Emmy and they zap her over there and they zap the Tatsunoko boys with her. Wait, why would they not just zap her over there? Why would they bring the guys who will now save her?
See what
And-
new
and
world
also-
I have ready, I guess.
And also, wait, if they can just dimension port people against their will, why would they not just zap them there one by one and leave them there to die? There's no point of any of this!
No, there isn't.
This series has no rules!
Yeah, there's nothing.
I hate
Shit-
this so much!
Shit,
Yeah.
just fucking imagine. Okay, for the Kingdom Hearts fans out there, imagine if the only Kingdom Hearts game you ever played was 358 over 2 days, and that was it, and that was your only exposure to this to Disney movies. Imagine
Yeah.
if that was your exposure to Disney movies, because he doesn't fucking know Tatsunoko shit. It's awful.
Yep, and it's not even good. Like, if there were more fan service for Tatsunoko characters here,
Yeah,
it
then
might
I
be
would
better.
be more interested, because that's all what I'm here for. Yeah,
Yep.
Check-A-Man gets a fight scene, but I don't give a fuck, and it sucks.
And I would be sitting here saying, hey, I'm glad you guys are having fun.
Yeah.
I will vote kill every week, but you guys will both fuck it, and it'll be fine, because I want you to be able to see the thing.
No, and here's the thing. So, Final Fantasy Summon, I was like, he's got a real cool design,
Yeah.
and his backstory was good.
Yeah.
And then the fight's about to happen, and he changes
He
form.
changes to this fucking little spindly Infamon from
Why?
Digimon the movie.
Why? He looked cool. I wanted to see what that form could do. I wanted to see him use his floaty arms and like take out knives or swords. No, he turns into a gargoyle, and why? It's just a disappointing show.
See ya.
Ben, it can't hurt
Bye.
you anymore.
I know.
It can't hurt you
it's
anymore.
out the door. We can pull the lever. Guillotine's dropping.
Man,
Right.
like Dies Irae was a show that I was happy to see go. This is a show
Oh
that
no,
I'm
Well,
gonna
we've
weight
al-
off of me.
We've also sat through twice as much of this.
Yeah. By the way, I could not have sat through 6 episodes of Dies Irae. I might have actually
died.
like at least with Infini-T Force, every once in a while there's a visually interesting thing happening. Dies Irae didn't even have that. It was all of this, but like looked terrible. So I firmly believe Dies Irae was the first thing to go, and it should have. Infini-T Force was the thing that needed to go next.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, I voted kill on both of them because I would have been happy to see both of them die.
But you would have had to have dealt with more episodes. Like,
Yeah.
maybe if Infini-T Force had gone first, you would have had to only deal with 5 episodes of Dies Irae instead of 6.
yeah,
But, like,
yeah.
It all works out in the end. They're both dead.
they're both.
Yes, they're both dead. Do we want to shove any more? Do we want to nail any more nails in the coffin?
No,
or do we, okay,
no, just
Nope,
let's
done.
never
Get it
speak
out.
of this again.
all right. Black Clover.
Yeah, let's talk about Black Clover.
Yeah, still
Yeah.
black, still a clover.
Yeah. Still got 5 of them. People don't believe them, but it's there.
Yep.
By the way, so side note. Oh wait, hold on. Infini-T Force opening, terrible. It's nothing but
Awful.
it's nothing but a clip show with a bunch of After Effects.
Yep.
I hate those sorts of openings, and it's the worst. This song's kind of okay. Boom, done, move.
Yep. The ending is some J-pop bullshit nonsense that.
Oh god, the ending's terrible.
And he's so bad.
Yep. Okay, Black Clover.
Yes, Black Clover. Let's speak about that opening real quick.
It is my favorite opening this season. That opening kicks ass.
It's-
I love that song.
Honestly, I'm a bigger fan of the Inuyashiki opening. But if I had to choose between the 2 openings, like for one, I'd put on the background, and Juni Taisen's opening. This one is just shonen as hell.
It's rocking.
This one actually reminds me of a mixture of Bleach and Naruto.
Oh,
which,
yeah. I like it. That's what I dig.
Yeah.
I'm here for my shonen bullshit. Give me my shonen bullshit song, and it's a good shonen bullshit song. I
Yes.
like it. It got stuck in my head all week.
The visuals are completely forgettable, though.
Who cares?
Actually, the visuals are bad. If
Yeah.
I had to be completely
They
honest
suck,
with you.
but I like that song.
Yeah.
I will have to watch it again and make sure to see the opening because I didn't remember it being too memorable. I watched it one of the first times, but that may very well have been my thoughts on the show at the time bleeding over.
Oh yeah, ditto. Actually, he was like, "I love this opening." I'm like, "I don't remember it." And then so like
Yeah, play
literally,
it for him in the car.
we put it on the car. I'm like, "This, when I'm not looking at the terrible visuals and being reminded about how much I hate the main character,
That's
this is
fun.
actually a lot of fun."
It's a good song.
Okay.
Yeah.
I'll check it
but
out then.
Yeah, no, the visuals are super bad. I just want to like
It's just character portrait.
character portraits and like that scene with the crying girl is so poorly done. The Sakuga on that is just bad, and I'm like, why? How? Puro, you're way better than this.
I will say that some of those character portraits, they show characters that won't show up until it feels like much later.
Yeah.
That is one of the things that gives me hope that it might get interesting because lots of shonen shows don't pick up until the ensemble is there.
You're
Yeah, that's what I'm waiting
absolutely
for.
right. And although unfortunately, I do not like the character. Like the characters they've introduced have a lot of character. I'm not sure I like them. Like Mr. Black Bull, like I'm an asshole and I'm murderous and like.
Yeah.
He doesn't seem. No, I did not get the hints that he's actually like that.
No, but maybe he's not. But
We know who he just is, like 1-to-1. Kenpachi. As soon as he shows up, what do they say? Oh my god, this pressure. That's exactly what they say for Kenpachi. It is the exact same character, and I'm okay with that. Because it has a lot of notes of Bleach to it, and I'm okay with them. I'm kind of waiting for them to get to Soul Society, Black Bull Town, and
Yeah.
then maybe we'll see some more stuff.
But so I voted to kill it.
I'm curious why.
I don't. Here's the thing. While there are a lot of shonen that took me a while to really get into it, nothing, not One Piece, not Naruto, not Dragon Ball, not Hunter x Hunter. No show has actively made me dislike its main character as heavily as this. And there's no supporting cast that I like, and the writing is bad. The writing is bad. Like, it's not just schlocky shonen stuff. It's bad writing. None of the characters sound like human beings half the time.
Yeah.
In this world, magic is everything is stated like 10 times in the first episode. You don't need to say it. That opening shot where the dude uses his water to water his crops was a perfect representation of how effective and necessary magic is in this world.
Yeah.
Oh, hold on.
Yep, let's get that camera, and we'll be right back.
Maybe I'll cool off.
Get some water on you.
I did not cool off. No, I'm sorry. Like, I'll get this out of the way. I don't like any of the characters. I think the writing is bad, and the art and animation is really up and down. And while it got more interesting, it really did. And I was like, oh, cool.
But it was starting from a pretty low bar, is the thing.
Yes,
Yeah.
it was. And that I might be giving it a little too much credit, but I love that song. I like the portraits I see. Of everything I'd have to watch, I would rather watch Black Clover instead of a lot of other things. And I think that I'm just hoping that anime fans are right for once, and it does get better after this intro, because people say that for everything.
Well,
Yeah.
let me put it to you this way. There were other shows that gave me something I really enjoyed that I voted to fuck.
Uh-huh.
This has not given me something that I enjoy. It has only given me some things that have that have gotten better.
Yeah.
So no.
If I can say one thing I actually did enjoy, I liked the scene. I liked the end of episode 5. Or at least the climax of like, okay, everyone's gonna get called out, and we're here all day, and who's getting called out, and the fact that like nobody answered to him. I actually dug that. I also liked his fight with that one dude. It actually was animated pretty well. I don't know. I feel like this is setting up to do a lot more interesting shit. So while I agree it isn't doing a lot now, I am very hopeful that it could do something cool. So don't let me down.
This is a small thing, but I get that it's shonen. I get that there's a pressure to crank out a certain amount of this show. If you're going to do the thing where the beginning of every episode is just the end of the last episode repeated,
yeah.
then keep that recycled content before the opening so that I can skip it.
Yeah.
That's all I fucking ask.
Yeah. Oh, there was one other thing. What's up with guy who talks really loud?
I don't know. It's just funny.
I mean, no, it is really funny.
I
but
appreciate
I'm
it.
reading the subtitles. I'm like, is that actually what he's saying? Because I literally could not hear him every time.
Listening back to it, yes, that is what he's saying, but he's just super low in the mix.
I mean, it's funny.
Yeah, it's
like,
funny.
Let me tell you, out of anything in this show that has tried to make me laugh and failed miserably, that dude, I'm like, okay, you were the one funny thing in this whole entire mess, but it's only because it's really dark and weird.
Yeah, he reminds me of Mayuri from Bleach, the clown dude.
Yeah, a little bit. Yeah,
I'm getting that vibe from
I'm feeling that. But otherwise, like, that is the only thing that I found funny. That shit joke.
Oh, it was awful.
Why?
How?
Who thought that shit joke was okay?
I mean, this was obnoxious in Naruto. All I can hope is that, like Naruto, they move past it and never...
Yeah.
This shit... Oh, my God.
Yeah. That's what I'm saying. Like, there's a lot of... It can get better. I think it can only get better.
I have My
What,
Hero
actually,
Academia to watch.
As of this week, it could actually get worse because it could go back to being as bad as it was last week.
Good. But I hope it doesn't.
Agreed. I would...
Because we're not going to hear "Marry Me."
Yeah.
Oh, my God,
True.
thank
We're not going
God.
to hear "Marry Me." We're going to get some
One
more
can
yelling.
hope.
We're going to get like 10 new characters.
Yeah.
And hey, maybe one of them will be interesting. That's why I'm
Maybe.
hopeful.
But, probably not.
No, is not an interesting character.
Oh, man. There's something that makes me really happy to see get shipped off to, like if we don't return to for, like, half a dozen episodes, I am fine.
Yeah, I'll be fine if he comes back with Griffith. I'm okay.
Ancient Magus Bride. That has an opening.
Ancient Magus' Bride's opening I really like it, but it's got a weird pacing issue.
Oh, yeah. Go ahead, sorry.
So, like, the opening bit is a lot of just still frames of Chisei and a lot of, like, barely anything. But when it kicks into gear and the visuals start to take off, I was like, okay, and we're in the magical world of Magus, and I was like, okay, cool, awesome. But it's kind of representative of the show of me of weird pacing. Like this show is oddly paced.
Yeah. I like that cuts though, because they're not like directly to the beat. I don't know. There's something weirdly cool about the cutting when it goes da 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 da, and like, but it's not directly to each thing, but it's like really cool. I like it.
Yeah, and it's giving you some foreshadowing. It's also
they're literally episode shots. Like that's what they are.
Also, oh my god, that beautiful shot of them like riding the vines.
Oh, I know.
I live for that stuff in my openings. I'm like, oh, that is so nice. And the actual song is mostly memorable. That opening bit of "I am here" is just such a good part. Like "Watashi wa koko," and I'm like, first of all, not something you hear often from Japanese singers with that inflection.
Yeah.
But just whoever the singer is, she's really good.
She's good. I could take or leave the delivery, but it's cool.
Yeah. So let's talk about the show now.
Yeah, I'm really glad. Lots of these shows, I sort of wish that we had gotten more caught up, so that I didn't have to keep trying to keep 2, sometimes 3 episodes straight. These 2 episodes, I'm glad we watched in the same week.
They had to be together.
Actually,
because they are of a piece.
Yeah.
This is sorcerers are. If I had to tell you just from going off these 2 episodes, sorcerers are bad people.
Yeah, so sorcerers, for the record, mages summon spirits to do magics. Sorcerers affect the warp of reality directly, is the difference, apparently. Also, apparently, all sorcerers are jerks.
That seems to be the common theme. We might be proven wrong, but it seems that anybody that says they're a sorcerer are probably not a good guy for our main duo.
Yeah. Kind of seems that way.
I loved jumping a bit to the ending. So talking about sorcerers, the fact that he was just so plainly, thanks for the data, I'm out.
Yeah. The sorcerer who taught Matthew how to make cat blood potions.
Yeah, cat blood potion. He's like, yeah, try this. And then when she falls to goop, he's like, oh, wrong potion.
Later.
Okay, bye. Like, that's just, I don't know, that works with me because it feels like any dark underbelly of this secret occult, I can buy that.
Yeah. I wasn't expecting. See, it's kind of interesting because the show is going very. How do I put this? It is not playing by a lot of rules that other shows that are trying to introduce magic would. It is just throwing you at these characters with their own motives and giving you just enough information to understand what's going on and why they're doing what they do, which is a little frustrating in some regard because there's a part of me that's like, ooh, please world build a little bit more. I really would like some more like world building before we get into this nitty gritty dark stuff. Yeah. On the other hand, man, I was ready for some darkness. But those 2 episodes go like heavy into some like really uncomfortable territory.
Yeah, this was like a weird marriage of Grimm's fairy tales, and then by the end, some Eastern Buddhist cycle of life and death, reincarnation, return to the life force of everything.
And I like that, by the way.
Oh, it was really cool.
If you're going to do magic in any way, I love the idea of like, nope, there's a cycle and everything's connected and everything. Like, yes, that is the way I want my magic, my fantasy to be. So
I love when he's, again, I love the scene where he's teaching her how to do it. And he's like, love the world. This is how it works. I'm like, that's so heartwarming. I love that. And I think it works so the sorcerers are like manipulating it to an adverse effect. I kind of like that dichotomy.
And Elias, I want to say Elias.
Yeah.
Elias is like, yeah, you make a good point when he's like, no, I'm a shadow creature. I shouldn't be doing that at all. Like, I'm bad at this. And then it's like, oh wow, yeah, Chisei is literally in this regard, she can do something he cannot, and that's important. And that's why it's good to see this happening. We talked a lot last time about feminism, about dominance and submission. Here, it's purely the fantasy element and watching these characters play out on their own story, and I'm glad to see that.
Same.
Yeah, it's nice to see the subtext retreat back into being subtext.
Yes.
It's there, it's a constant undercurrent, but it's not the focus of the story.
Yeah, I appreciated that. And also, there were so many comments of people saying they didn't see that, and I just gotta wonder what milquetoast lives you lead.
Yeah, I like, and some people are like, I think you're seeing too much there. I'm like, Yeah, no.
They haven't gone out much. I don't know.
Yeah.
Like,
But here's the thing to remember. A lot of our audience, real young, actually
That's-
don't have a lot of
that- you know what,
experience
that's
with
true.
that. That's
That is
not
true.
there as a criticism saying that you're wrong.
by the way, and if you're an adult who doesn't agree with us, you're not. Don't take that as an insult. We don't think you're vanilla. We don't think you're dumb or lame or anything. But for a lot of us, we've seen that kind of stuff before. So I personally identify this. We could be totally wrong. The whole dominant submission thing, like in that subtext.
No,
we're not. No, we're not.
We're not wrong.
We're
now,
not.
It is subtext because some people have also come back saying, well, I mean, he's this hundreds years old creature who really does have all this magical knowledge that she lacks. So of course he's up here and she's down here. It's like, yeah, no, that's the text. You have correctly identified the textual layer. The subtext
Yes.
is that between humans in this, which we call the laughingly call the real world, sometimes there are people who are more experienced than other people, and sometimes this creates an unbalanced power dynamic in relationships that's interesting, and sometimes stories use exaggerated magical metaphors to examine that.
Yes, and that's I was worried that this show was going to take that magical lens towards this, and I'm so glad it shifted the fucking focus to just look how cool this magic shit is, because that's what it needed to be for me, and so I'm really happy it went that direction, and I really actually dig the characterization of these two now. I was really wary of it the first week. I was not on board with episodes 1 and 2. I showed my girlfriend. We watched episode 1, skipped 2, went to 3. She still loved it. I don't think you missed jack shit from episode 2, skipping that. And 4 and 5 really delivered on, here's what these guys do. This world has this awesome shit, and we're actually going to see some progression. It's really dynamic. And in terms of emotional spectrum, this is the show that has evoked most emotion from me aside from Inuyashiki. So I really like it for that.
It's going to be really interesting because it is now at that point where it's at that point for me, like in terms of its development, where the next step is very important, like very important, because they've just shown, like, I feel like this is the best the series has done. The next step will either be like, was that a fluke? Or are we gonna get like, or is it gonna get is it gonna be as good or get better from here? And that's kind of scary for me because I had high hopes for the show and it might reach them, but
I'm not too worried. It doesn't feel like a show reaching a one-time height. It feels like a show that has just become comfortable with what it is and what it wants to do.
Yes, I'm definitely getting there was a lot of really poignant moments. Nothing that really, I don't know. 3 is still the top for me, but I'm still expecting it to go to that angle of like, we're going to get to some real deep shit about life and death. Like there was some cool stuff in this one with the cycle stuff, but I wasn't super attached to Matthew and Mina. So we'll see.
also really good to see Chisei come up with their own solution.
Yeah, I loved that.
Yeah.
Where she was just like, okay, I'm here with the cat. Let's do it.
Yeah, and the cat was like, "Let me do it," and
Yeah.
Chisei's like, "No, but that's still not okay." I mean, and then she freaks out, and then she's like, "Brilliant idea.
Yeah.
Why don't I do what I'm supposed to do and use the magic around me and these spirits to help you?" And then she does, and it's like, "Way to go, Chisei! I had it in you the whole time."
Yeah, I liked it. I liked it a lot. I appreciated the cats.
Okay, yeah, again, let's just talk about the cats till no end. By the way, so no matter if it's a male or female, they're the king.
Yeah, they're the
Yes.
king. I appreciated. I loved like the first king of cats. He felled this evil serial cat killer and like, organized us all together.
And
Like,
now that spirit...
yeah, now that spirit passes on, and I love that they're like actually like, yeah, we live 9 actual lives.
Yes.
And that's how we know this. And you might not know this because you're a dumb human, but yeah, we talk, we do this shit. Like that's so cool. I really liked that.
Yeah, I love that the city of cats is just a normal city, just normal little town where lots of people have cats.
Yep.
Yeah, but this is obviously that's where the city of cats is because they can all talk to each other, of course.
Yeah, it's like, yeah, why would we not have humans to feed us and tend to our needs in our city where everything's the way we want it?
Yeah, like it's just really cool. It's more of that magical realism that the show has that I really dug. Is that I like it takes place in this world and does fun things. I'm always a fan of urban fantasy shit. It's cool.
I'm also really like down with the show. Like that one cat just goes for his freaking throat. It's so good. I'm like, oh damn.
Yeah, as soon as that happens, it's like good. This is good. Cat justice.
There was a point. I'm like, no, Tim. No. Oh, right. They can all talk. You go, Tim.
Yeah, I loved it. This is imaginative. If I had one word for it, it's fucking imaginative. It gives me some Ghibli vibes with a lot of stuff.
Oh, yeah.
And it is rare for a TV show to do that.
Yeah.
I really dig it.
Yeah. It's interesting. It may not be the best show on the list, but I feel like it has the most to talk about in a lot of ways.
This Inuyashiki.
This Inuyashiki
Well, I
and
mean,
Kino for me.
Is there
So,
really a lot to talk about with Inuyashiki, or is there just a lot for us to gush about? Like Magus, there's more to break down and more questions, but with Inuyashiki, it's just like, God, this scene, and this was so good, and this introduced this, and
No, I think as it goes, we'll get into more of like, is that okay?
Oh,
Or,
yeah, no.
I think
Like,
we'll
I
get
think-
to that stuff.
like there are already questions, but I imagine with Inuyashiki going forward, there are going to be a lot more things to ask, and they're all going to be moral.
And it's going to be great.
Yeah, no. Yeah.
I'm so excited, and just knowing, God, just back to Inuyashiki, because fucking hell, man. Knowing the manga's done and that we're getting a complete adaptation,
Yes.
unlike Gantz, warms
Yeah.
my heart. Like
Agreed.
I'm so excited for that. And Magus Bride, I think, wasn't it based on a novel?
I think there's a manga.
Or manga
There
or
might be a
something.
manga.
I think it's based on something, and I can't remember if that's done or not. But I love this adaptation so far. I'm actually curious about the source material, but it's good. I like it.
I'm just hoping that Magus isn't another advertisement for the light novel / manga, because I already got that with Fruits Basket, then I got that with Oron, and it keeps happening. And with Satan is a part-timer.
I got
the
the
devil.
I know Devil's a part-timer
Yeah,
so good.
the devil's a part-timer was so good, and it was
Where's
just
my season 2? God damn it.
Nope, because all it was one long commercial.
Hey, be careful what you wish for, dude, because Berserk 97 was a commercial for the manga, and then more got made. More got made, Scott.
I don't think you're right.
Yeah, I
you're
haven't seen it.
Sorry, that was a fever dream.
I think we might have gotten 3 movies, maybe. Yeah, I don't know.
We got 3 movies. No, we got a game. There was those game cut scenes.
Oh
Yeah.
Yep, for the Dreamcast, it was real good. Guys, I think that about covers it. We will see you next week. I am excited to kill more shit.
That's right.
And fuck more.
Go fuck
Yep.
yourselves.
Go fuck everything. See you next time.
Later.